Hey scrappers, we had a couple of questions come in about different types of scrap ballasts, whether they're scrap electronic ballasts, scrap transformer ballasts. We wanted to go over a couple of these different grades of ballasts and tell you about them. So in my hand, this is a ballast that came out of a large light. Now it almost looks like a small transformer, but this scrap ballast has copper on the inside, and a lot of people will take this apart. How you take this apart and how you make more money is by cutting it on this side, flipping it over, cutting it on the other side, and be able to pull the copper out. Some people will tell you to put a saw cut here and a saw cut here. This way this small piece falls off. Then you can flip it over and pull this piece out almost like the letter C. Then you have a nice piece of copper that could be sold as a #2 scrap copper or even an insulated cable depending on your yard. Next up, you have your general old school ballasts. Now these ballasts have copper inside, and we do not recommend taking these apart. You're not going to make that much extra money, and a lot of scrap yards aren't going to want to deal with it. Inside of these ballasts, there's copper. It's generally coated with like a black tar, and it's really dirty, and it could get all over your fingers. It's very sticky from the heat and being used all those years. Again, heavier than newer ballasts, right? Which is what I have in this hand. Here you have an electronic ballast. This scrap electronic ballast would be out of a new system like an LED system, where the power still needs to be distributed, but you don't need a lot of copper. So holding these, while this one's half the size of this is 4 to 5 times the weight of this one. What does that tell me? These older ones have a lot more copper inside. The newer ones have a lot less copper because they're relying on more things like little pieces of wire. So here you see this is the 3 wires that came into the system. They went through the circuit board, which is controlling these ballasts more. And on the outside, they have 4 or 5 different wires that get connected to. This has a lot less copper in it than this one does, and the one that's leaning against me has the most amount of copper, and this is one that you can generally make a lot more money with, either as a small copper transformer or by pulling the copper off of it. So if you have any other questions about scrap ballasts, scrap transformers, or anything that has to do with the scrap industry, let us know, and until next time, I'll scrap you later. Thanks for checking out this scrap video. For more exclusive scrap video content, please become a YouTube member of our channel today. Thank you, and I'll scrap you later.